since I have absolutely no excuse to not go ahead and do some of my summer reading, let's go ahead and do the instant Shadow Rider. Yeah, already I'm unlocking another one. It just took me the weekend too. I guess even the Shadow Riders take weekends off. But joking aside, yeah, I don't know why, but these Shadow Riders seem to be going through really quickly. Because like I said, once I get through the 7 Shadow Riders, and then the few events that happen after that, that's the game, really. Kind of odd to think that I'm even close to being done. But, yeah, for now we have to deal with a vampire. Okay, I'm not even going to try and talk about Twilight. That's just way too known already. Now, it's a endless night, and all you have to do is go to the lake shore. Because when you go there, turns out there was a sighting. And not just any sighting. An entire freaking castle in the middle of the lake sighting. And there she is. Where's Buffy when you need her? So, yeah, in the anime I can't really remember much. I just remember that eventually her main theme, zombies, which, as I've said before, is already a pretty good theme in this generation at least, because there's plenty of support cards and plenty of good cards from plenty of good zombie monsters anyway. Because her deck idea is actually pretty good. She's the first 4-star duelist you'll face in this game. Kind of odd to think about. It's like the first time you ever fight Cyrus, he's a 2-star. Then I believe it's Beauregard in his disguise for a 3-star. And now you got Camula, 4-star. Enough so to beat Zane. I don't remember the duel in the series, so I can't comment. But yeah, that kind of reminds me of the really weird Sabrina fights in the Pokemon anime. Nightmare Fuel? I don't know. And so with this fairly creepy voodoo transformation thing, that's just kind of it. We go to bed. The next night, though, you can go ahead and fight her. It's not an endless night, though. You just have to go on your own accord and fight her at any time. Now, like I said, she's the first 4-star duelist you'll be facing in this game. And oh my, is she difficult. Her zombie deck is much better thought out than Chas Princeton, the only other real threat of a zombie deck we fought so far, because she actually has a lot more access to cards, which, as per usual, you're unable to access until later. Now, I loved what happened here. She uses Call of the Mummy, which allows her to special summon any zombie monster with 2,000 or less attack points. Vampire Lord, her main card. And then her real main card comes out, Vampire Genesis. That thing is her main card, and she summoned it on her first turn. Because you have to get rid of a Vampire Lord to summon that. And she wasn't smart enough to attack Adhesive Explosive with her Vampire Genesis. Oh, she was smart enough, I guess is how you would say it in the end. And so I'm thinking, crap, I got squat against her. And she got really lucky. Is there any other words you can use to describe that? But I'm able to scrape by with a card that has enough attack, because I have Metamorph, and like I've said before, Metamorph is by far one of my favorite cards, because it's a really good equip card. And then, this has got to be the biggest oh come on moment, where I use card destruction to get rid of my Guy the Fierce Knight and my Mary the Fallen One, so I can try and see if I can get any kind of fusion going on. Well, guess what? I got rid of 2 halves of 2 fusions to get the other 2 halves of the other 2 of the same 2 fusions. hey, I just defeated Vampire Genesis. Yay! So now I can really be in an anime duel. And speaking of the anime, how about the abridged series? Card games for the win got banned. Again. How many times is this now? I mean, I know on the website that there's a shirt that Lil Karibo sells that says, so good it got banned off YouTube. Twice. But I think it's been a lot more than that. I mean, I remember there was a time, I believe just like summer of 2010 or 2011, when they were just getting on and off, put on, put off. Now, in case you're wondering, I'm not attacking the Pyramid Turtle because that thing is so broken. Not so much the card itself, but its effect is really, really broken. Because he can special summon any zombie monster with 2,000 or less defense points. Not 2,000 or less. Not like 1,500 like pretty much every other card that does the same thing. Well, 1,500 or less attack points. 1,500 or less defense points. 2,000 or less defense points. Which means it doesn't matter what the monster's attack points are as long as the defense points are low enough. This is why Witch of the Black Forest was banned, because there were plenty of cards it could work with to get really strong monsters out. Like, say, you could bring, as per the limits on Witch of the Black Forest effect, you could get a summon Skull or something crazy powerful like that. You know, those high attack, low defense monsters. Of which there are plenty, but Summon Skull is a good one because it's 2,500 attack points for a single summon. Single sacrifice summon. But, as I said before, I was able to scrape by and get through to her. Actually, I wasn't saying that. I was talking about the Bridge series. 55 came out recently. It was a good episode. Although, really, that's just a complaint I have about all the abridged series. None of them are complete. I know Team 4-Star just finished their Season 2, you know, the big Namek saga. But holy cow, I mean, I know the people that work hard in the abridged world, such as Lil Karibo, all of Team 4-Star, which includes Lil Karibo now, pretty much, at least until they kill Freeze off. They all have, like, real life stuff to do, and it's not easy to get the high quality stuff out. I mean, just look at Team 4-Star's uploading schedule. Their episodes can be way off each other. But still, holy cow, can they take a long time to get through anything. I mean, Lil Karibo's still on Season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's probably going to be a big break in between Dragon Ball Z Abridged. And even the more lesser known people don't seem to be able to get through the entire series. Ever. I mean, the closest I've ever seen anybody get was Hethrin Lives, who did a Redwall Bridge series. He got to episode 8 or 9, I believe, of a 13 episode series. He's been taking a break for about a year and a half now. I mean, I know I'm not the best at uploading schedules either, but still, my goodness. At least I'm trying. I'm not saying that they aren't trying, I'm just saying, what the heck? Of course, that can be said of anybody that does anything that's supposed to be even slightly scheduled. LPers, most famous one for that being Proton John. Oh, did I mention that that duel was actually really good? Neither of us won through luck. It was actually both of us having equal parts of like skill and luck and figuring out good combos and stuff. And with that, we rescue Zane. I don't know how. And Camula is air quotes dead. And get this, the next day, I get to do yet another Shadow Rider. I can understand because I did level up, you know, on that endless night. I was even able to get Fontaine registered, thank goodness. And got my spirit up to level 3 so I can have 3 copies of Adhesive Explosive. But still, good grief, how the heck am I going through this saga so quickly? I think it was just as quick on in the series too. And let's see. I can name off all the rest of them. To be honest, I'll say that 2 of them are pretty boring. I mean, they're all pretty high level. They're all 4-star decks. But otherwise, they won't be as excited or interesting as the first 3. Not to sound negative, but oh hey, look, a new pack. And I decided to show off the opening so that it wasn't like a random cut. That plus, I can show you that this is a union deck, which more or less means fusions and a few union monsters. And by union monsters, they really just mean a ton of the XYZs. As much as I would love to use an XYZ deck, I haven't got an XYZ Dragon Cannon. So therefore I can't use it. And my goodness, I just get Master of Dragon Soldier a ton. I have used a deck with him before, but it's not easy because you more or less have to rely on just being able to draw Blackluster Soldier, not being able to summon him, and then getting some kind of fusion stand-in card like King of the Swamps or anything like that to be able to summon him. He's not that good because you have to be running a entirely dragon monster deck, and even then he only gains maximum 2,000 attack points. And he's very hard to summon, so sadly can't use him. Oh hey look, it's Tania, who for some reason got a somewhat their role in Season 3, where she just kind of helped Jane and them in their interdimensional travels. I don't know, that Season 3 was really weird. At least Season 3 in the original series was just kind of a filler, let's drag out this tournament as long as we can thing. And even then, it was actually Season 3 that inspired me to start imagining stuff. Well, being a little bit more creative. Which has more or less led me to become very critical and analytical. Yeah, that's a very long story, and I don't think I'll ever share it, but oh hey look, they built Rome in a day. Yeah, I love how the students are like gone for a few days, and they're able to build an entire Colosseum. People say Rome can't be built in a day, look at that. But otherwise, I do like Tania. She has a very good deck. It's Amazon. Yeah, it's that deck. The Amazonas cards. Which are actually pretty good when you use them as a theme. At least in this generation. That plus, she has one of my favorite monster cards pretty much ever. Amazon Swordswoman. Who for some reason is like never ever considered like limited or semi-limited. You can have 3 copies of her just fine. She's pretty accessible since she's a warrior. Plenty of cards helping her. And she has what's gotta be the best effect ever. Any battle damage that includes her is always taken against your opponent. For example, if you attack her directly, it just applies as regular damage. But what gets interesting is, say you're attacking a Blue Eyes White Dragon with your Amazon Swordswoman. Well, normally you would take 1500 damage for your life points because you attacked a monster that was stronger than you. But guess what? Your opponent loses those life points and damage because of the effect. Meaning, no matter what, you can just use that card and deal damage when you feel like it. However, there's a ton more Amazoness cards, like Amazoness Tiger, definitely a good card. Amazoness Paladin, and kind of a weaker version of Amazoness Tiger, and doesn't have as many good effects. Amazon Archer, she's always included in the Amazon cards. There's a ton of support cards for the Amazons. Not to mention just Tania's deck in general is filled with warriors, and warriors have a whole lot of support cards. So that's definitely something you can go off of. And as for this duel in general, I actually liked it. I lost to both Camula and Tania stupidly at least 2 or 3 times each. However, whenever I redid them and was able to get a good run off of them, they were both good duels. I mean, like I said, it wasn't anything cheap like Toramaki, or is it Botany, there we go. Or Chaz, or Crowler. Both of us were just giving it our all, and sure enough, it ended up good in the end. And that's really saying something for me, because I'm always at a disadvantage in this game, because you don't get access to all the cards until way after the main game has ended. And there are plenty of cards for you to choose from, if it were possible. Now, for some reason, the AI also like Amazoness Swordswoman effect, in that they'll purposefully, not intelligently, purposefully always attack the strongest monster to deal some damage to you, which can and cannot work out for you. It can because it gets rid of a monster that, otherwise might be a problem for you. But it can't, because then you may be low on life points, or she may be doing it with a purpose, like in one duel she attacked me, got rid of it. Then she used Premature Burial to bring it back, and I couldn't attack anything because that was the only thing left. And here I was just kind of fumbling around because I forgot Amazon Archer's effect, and that all of your monsters lose, I don't even remember how much life points, but how many attack points, but it seemed like everyone was affected by, like, not even sure, like, a third or 500 each. Yeah, I believe it was 500 each. And they all have to attack, no matter what. Like I said, good support cards. Now here's about the only moment of cheapness I can think of, is when she used Hammer Shot. And that's why I decided to start using my trap cards a little bit more, like Dark Greed and Mirror Force. I used Mirror Force on a freaking Marshmallow. Sad day. But I was like, okay, come on, Heart of the Cards or whatever. Give me a monster with more than 900 attack points. Okay, that'll work. There we go. As much as I wanted to use the Forgiving Maiden, she only had 800, and I wanted to finish off the duel, so I finished her off with her own signature card. Thumbs up. Good, yeah, another reason I like Tania is that she doesn't take this whole darkness thing. It seems like she just kind of joined for the fun of it. She's just, wanting to duel somebody fun, and she isn't even really that mean. She even turns into a good guy, like I said in Season 3. And with that, you can now finally duel Bastion whenever the heck you feel like it. Right?